Welcome to this app review brought to you by Drumming Innovation Magazine. Today we're going to have a brief look at the app called Anytun. It's known to musicians as a slow downer of music, and it also allows you to change key or pitch, which is perfect for melodic instruments and or vocals. This app has many other great features as well. Besides having an awesome interface allowing you to scrub through the file, it also has the ability to drop markers, name them, and even send these modified files to band members or students via email or other sources such as Dropbox. Let's have a look. So the first thing we'll check out in the interface is the two viewers. The viewer on the very bottom will show you letter A on the left-hand side, stretching all the way over to the right-hand side, letter B, showing us the entire file. This makes it incredibly easy to scan through an entire song or kind of know where we are because that's where the red arrow is. So the viewer on the very top will show us in the middle of the page where the playhead is, and will also show us basically a zoomed in version of where all the transients are. This makes it incredibly easy to scrub and scan through a tune, and also allows us basically to play the song and scrub through it while it's still playing, so you don't have to stop it in order to actually still hear where you are. So the next thing we're going to check out with this is the slow down and speed up function. So the wheel on the left hand side, you'll notice a plus and a minus sign. Now when you hit either one of these, you'll notice that it'll speed up the song by 5% at a time, or vice versa in the other direction. The other cool thing about this is that if you press down on that wheel and hold your finger down, it'll, instead of moving in 5% increments, it will slide up in 1% increments. Very, very cool. Now, when we want to zero that out, you can just double tap on it, and it's all set. Now, you can do the same thing on the right-hand side where we have the ability to change the pitch of the song as well, sharp or flat, and it moves in semitones. As you can tell, 1 semitone, 2, 3. Zero that out, double tap. Now, the next thing that can happen is you can hold your finger down on that, and instead of it moving up in semitones, it gives you the ability to fine-tune now. Excellent. So now, double tap out of that. So the next feature I want to show you is its ability to drop markers. You can do this on the fly, or you can do it just basically moving up to a transient, like that right there. Now I'm going to drop one right there. I know specifically that that is the intro. So what I'm going to do is now double tap on that. Now, I can write in anything I want to, but even better yet, just to the right of that gives us a bunch of predefined labels. So that's going to be our intro, and I'm going to go ahead and use that. And I'm going to hide that window. Cool. So let's play it from here, and I'll show you how we can drop the next marker and label that. Excellent. So you'll notice just above the play button at the bottom of the page in the middle, the button just above it is the marker button. Now just to the left and the right of that will give us the ability to either scan back to the previous marker or move to the next marker. So let's go ahead and hit the one on the left. It'll make us jump back to the one we just did. Now, if I didn't put that marker precisely in the right place, I could put my finger on it and still slide that around as well, even though I think we were probably in a good place. Okay, let's go ahead and label that. So I'm going to double tap on it, and I do believe that was the verse. So label that, and let's go back. Now this gives us the opportunity to actually jump around to our markers as well. So I'm going to hide this, and I'm going to start this at the beginning of the song. Now watch what happens every time we get close to a marker. It will give us a lead-in indicator. Very cool. Great tool to use if you're teaching a student, if you want to jump around certain sections, and it's one of the things that drew me to it as well. So the next thing we're going to have a look at then is going to be our ability to loop certain sections. So I'm going to go ahead and move this, although again we could do this on the fly, but I'm going to do this quick and make it nice and precise. So I can go ahead in the top viewer, hold my finger down in that letter A, and slide it right on over to that transient right there. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the bottom viewer and click on that letter B. I'm going to slide it all the way over to where letter A is, just into the general area. Now I'm going to slide on back. Now we can see both A and B in that top viewer. So now I'm going to go ahead and press play. Okay, now that next transient is really where I'd like my letter B to go. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the loop button, and it will highlight that entire section. Now let's see if I'm accurate here. Cool. That works out pretty good. Now remember that still we can drop letter A or letter B even on the fly by using the A and B buttons actually on the console just below the large letter A on the top viewer. So now if we want to move these markers in very small increments, what I'm going to do is, if you'll notice the letter B in the top viewer, just to the just underneath of that, you'll notice another letter B button in the console. And there's a scroll wheel just to the right of that. This will allow us to slide that loop marker around in very small increments if in fact you're not totally set where you'd like to go. So that works out really, really well. So remember some cool features as well that we haven't even touched on is the practice mode. Basically, that will allow us to take a certain section and basically loop it, but the app itself will start it at a slow tempo, and each pass it will gradually make it faster. Very, very cool feature. The other thing that drew me to this app was the ability to be able to take either a looped section or the entire file based on the modifications that we made to it, whether it be slowing it down, speeding it up, or changing the key. We can email that to a band member again, or a student, or we can put it in Dropbox, and a slew of other features as well. I hope this gave you some indication as to a little bit as to what this app is capable of doing. By far, I have not seen an app yet that looks like this, that gives us all these cool features, so I hope you go check it out and have a lot of fun.